Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome to another CK3 guide. In this video, we'll be talking about Renown, how to use Renown, how to make more Renown, what is it used for, how do you make it, all of that stuff, level of splendor. So Renown is a very nice currency to have. It's probably the one that you get the least of, the hardest to get. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to get more of it. But basically, as you increase your Renown, this is on a dynasty level. So even if you die and you play as another ruler, you will still have that renown available to spend. While piety and prestige will be lost, gold is inherited by the next ruler as well, but renown always stays. So levels of splendor will determine your children how much prestige they get when they're born, marrying into this dynasty, how much prestige you can get. So this will help securing marriages as well, because other people will be wanting to marry into your dynasty to get more prestige as well. And then you get some maximum long reign opinion, which is very nice if you have a character that's been ruling for a long time. So it really helps with managing your vassals, all of that stuff. And all of these simply increase as you increase your level of splendor. So at the highest level, we have, I think it's legendary. And at legendary, you can see 1000 prestige for each child when they're born, plus 900 prestige when a marriage happens, plus 55 long reign opinion. That's huge. That really helps with managing your vassals and everyone else. So this is not something that you can get easy, but what determines how much renown you get is a couple of things. So first of all, how many living members you have in your dynasty. And I think there's like a cap, maybe 60 members or plus. I don't know how much. I know there's a cap, but I'm not exactly sure how much. In this case, I'm making one renown just from having a bunch of living members and a bunch of children. I'm a king, or in this case, a queen, so I get one renown per month from that. There are two counts in my dynasty that's giving me this much, and then I have two dukes by marriage, which are giving me this much. So the way to make renowned is to either conquer lands and give them to your dynasty members, or preferably house members if you want to have alliances. You can have alliances with dynasty members as well, but you have to spend renown to call them to offensive wars. So I don't like doing that, because primarily what you want to use renown is legacies. So you want to get legacies, which are like permanent bonuses for your dynasty. And I'll do a video about legacies as well. As you can see, I have 3 legacies unlocked. I have noble veins, I have fertility, and I have better education traits for the children. So I might try and specialize. I might get some other ones. It really depends on what you want to do. But that's primarily what you use renown for. So the best way, like I said, is to have a bunch of living members in your dynasty, but not just for the sake of having a bunch of members. What you want to do is, in this case, when I was playing as my previous ruler, I had a bunch of children, and a lot of them are still alive. You want to, especially daughters, like female ones, because there's a lot of different rulers in the world. Their wives will be dying. They might be looking for another marriage candidate. So when you take someone like a daughter, in this case, this is my sister, because I'm on a new ruler. But when this was my daughter, I would basically, right now I can't do that because she's not in my court, but I can do it with my child. So let's take a look at if I have someone who is a good marriage candidate. So in this case, I have 7 children, and I already kind of engaged most of them, but let's take a look at this little one. So this can only happen when the child becomes like an adult, but you can engage them, find them a spouse, and open the filter. And I don't really care about any of that stuff. All I really care about is that the person that I'm marrying them is a ruler. And then you want to get someone who is like a high rank. For example, this guy, even though he's a republic, he is a king. So his title is a king. So problem here is that he's old and he might not last, and this is a child. So I'm going to skip that guy, but I'm going to try and find someone else. For example, you can also sort by age, let's say maximum 35. And then you can also sort by alliance power if you want to get someone who might have like a higher ranking title. So in this case, if we engage this person to, for example, this guy, he's 9. He will not accept matrilineal, of course, but if we engage these 2 children and we make that engagement happen, Nothing's gonna happen right now, but once both of these are adults, and that marriage happens, and you don't break the betrothal in the meantime, or nothing happens, he doesn't die, get killed, or your kid, basically it happens, then what's gonna happen is you're gonna get, as you see here, we have two dukes by marriage, and each of them gives you 0.40 renown per month. So what's gonna happen when that marriage happened, since that guy was a count, we're gonna get plus 0.20 from having one count by marriage. In this case, dukes are obviously better, or even kings, and that's how you can get more renown. So take all your children, especially daughters, even brothers and sisters that are at your court, like anyone that you have power over influencing who they marry, and just look for other rulers to marry them. Make sure that they're a ruler, that they have some lands. Now, if you marry, let's say I marry a daughter to the king of this kingdom here, and then I take another daughter and marry to someone who's like a count in this kingdom, then I believe only the marriage for the king will be counted for your renown. So unless they're like of a different dynasty, I'm not sure. But what you want to do is you want to kind of diversify. You want to marry your one daughter to, I don't know, maybe this guy, then marry another daughter to maybe some other king, then marry another one to a duke, and you will get to a point where you will be getting more renown. And another thing to note is that when you do these marriages, even though you might die and you play as someone else, as long as those marriages are valid and lasting, you will be getting more renown, because that's on a dynasty level. So it doesn't matter like who you're playing as long as those people who are part of your dynasty are married to those other rulers, you will be getting those extra renown bonuses. Like for example, these two dukes by marriage, I don't even remember when I did this. Could have been a long time ago, but it's still active. The marriages are still valid. They're still living. They didn't divorce. No one got killed or anything. So I'm still gaining renown from those two dukes by marriage. And I have no clue even who these dukes are. So that's what I'm trying to say. Just arrange those marriages and you will be making more renown. So I'm going to take a look at all my children. I actually engaged a lot of them. As you can see, I engaged this little one to this guy. He is a vassal and he is actually a duke. So when this child grows up, I don't know, 10, 11 years from now, then I'm going to get another 0.40 from, I'm going to have 3 dukes by marriage. So I'm going to get even more renown. So that's how you make a lot of renown on a dynasty level. And that's what you should use renown to spend on legacies. That's primarily what I use renown. You can also use renown to disinherit children that you want to remove from the succession line. So in this case, this son, I can go and disinherit him. I do have to spend some renown. So typically I don't do this. I already did a video on succession and how to manage your succession. So make sure you check that out, because it really helps managing succession, especially early in the game when you cannot change the laws and you have a bunch of children, because a lot of players don't want to have a bunch of children simply because it kind of messes up their succession, divides their lands, creates conflicts. I think it's fun. I think it's part of the game, and you definitely need to deal with all of that. But if you have a lot of prestige and you can enact voting laws, then you can manage your succession much easier, and you can just save all of that renown for legacies. So anyway, I hope this video helps you. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Subscribe, take a look at the playlist in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one.